Ladies and gentlemen, guys, welcome to episode 17 of Finance Rockstars. This is our international edition. We have two international episodes. This is the first of the year, 2026, where we will give you our unbiased, unfiltered views on Argentina as an investment opportunity. So for all of you guys and gals around the world, Argentina is, as you know, located in South America. Just joking. And since 2025 and late 2024, Argentina has been ongoing some very interesting changes in politics. We have turned from a socially, what you would call socialist, populist, left-wing, South American version of left-wing government to a, what you would call liberal or right, not far right, but right and liberal government under President Javier Milei. I'm not saying this is either good or bad, but it's good for business since Argentina is reopening to international markets. There are larger and more interesting investment opportunities. There is a lot to change, a lot to make better, and there's a lot of internal work we Argentinos need to do. But Argentina is becoming an interesting hub for investment, especially in a world that is becoming very fast, somewhat, and I don't want to be self-derogative, but Latin America. Like, it's totally unexpected to see the Prime Minister of Canada with such a hasty and fiery speech as Prime Minister Carney gave at the Davos Forum, World Economic Forum last week. And this is important because it was really Canada at odds with the United States. That would be unthinkable. I mean, I remember, and we'll go back to Argentina, I remember when I first went to the north of the United States, we crossed from Buffalo with my family. This was 1987, from Buffalo in New York State to, I guess it was the province of Ontario, if I'm not wrong. There was this beautiful, very large, 6-lane bridge called the Rainbow Bridge, and you would cross it from one country to another without even stopping. There would be nobody to stop you, either from one side or the other. To me, coming from as a kid and coming from Argentina, and etc., it was unthinkable that two countries could be so connected. And then all of this is beginning to happen. We saw the Prime Minister and the President of Denmark speaking about the possibilities of a war if Greenland is touched by the United States. So the world is becoming increasingly unstable in many parts. And this is making countries like Argentina, which were totally out of the system, become strangely interesting and at some point, and this is difficult to say, predictable. I'm not saying that Argentina is more predictable than the United Kingdom or Canada or the United States. We are not. And let's be clear from the get-go, we are not, and there's still a lot of work to do. But it's becoming an interesting possibility. So that's what we want to address with you and for you in this first international episode on Argentina forecast. So let's take it from there. I guess you, Mati, have something for us, right?
I think that there, as you said, there's a lot of opportunities, but I'm in my point of view, and I'm thinking also that this is a podcast where we mix movies and music with finance and business. I think that currently Argentina is like James Bond, but getting dressed to kill.
Okay,
but in a good sense, for trade.
Okay,
not for war, for trade.
I love it.
or dress for success, as Rod said would say.
Yes,
but to become that sharp dressed man of the CC Top song that everybody
Which
likes.
James Bond are we speaking about? Daniel Craig,
whatever.
Sean Connery,
all have nice suits. All dressed well.
Exquisite.
We have a huge expert
except George
Bond.
Lazenby.
You don't like him?
I do not.
Okay. Okay.
He's envy of him.
Okay.
That's the point.
Weird.
But I think that what Argentina had been doing during this couple of years is to prepare, to get fit, to enter on that sexy dress, to be prepared for the new world trade. and getting fit, doing their homework, reducing inflation rate, eliminating the gap between the different exchange rate that we have, reducing significantly country risk. Currently, it's around 520 something, but it's for some countries could be a lot. But if you have in mind that some years ago, and not a lot of years ago, we were around 3,000, sorry, 3,000.
Down from 3,000 to 500.
525, 26. It's a lot. It's a huge improvement.
Yeah.
And 2025 was mainly the first year on many others that Argentina grows in GDP.
Yeah.
5%, something like that, but it's growing, and we are going to repeat growth this year.
Yeah. So, which is, sorry to interrupt. What is the GDP of Argentina is around $680 billion, right? Pretty much so. How we are still the
third economy in Latin America.
In Latin America, okay, and the second GDP per capita, second close to Chile and to Mexico. Is like, why is it important?
Uruguay.
And Uruguay.
Mexico. Yeah. Mexico has a huge population, so it's more difficult for them.
Yeah. The number one, let's say, is Brazil. That's not to be discussed. Why is it so important from a foreigner point of view that Argentina is lowering its inflation rate? And why is it so important that the GDP is growing? I mean, the answer is pretty obvious, but seen from an outsider point of view, which are used to these figures, to us they are astonishing.
Mainly, it's economy that is growing. Okay. That's the main. Not all the sectors are growing. That's maybe the tricky thing about this. There's a significant growth in oil and gas, mining, agribusiness. Knowledge services is growing too, but they're still in retail consumers for good. It's not growing. That's the maybe the challenge for the following years to make those sectors grow. But as you mentioned inflation, it's no one is going to invest in a country with 250, 300 annual inflation rate. It's insane. You don't know how to put price on things. And of course, that inflation rate is always linked to devaluation. So if you invest $1 million, our trade is in pesos. So if we have a devaluation of 15%, your investment suddenly is 500 keys. You reduce to your investment significantly, and that was an issue that was constantly happening for foreign investors, that they were not able, even though that maybe their business were growing. Their investment was always reducing because of the rate, because they have invested in US dollars and they were not receiving any profit on that and reducing their investment. But having said that there's a lot of opportunities, there are also a lot of challenges, and I will like to pass the torch to our friend, the expert in technology, because
resident expert.
There are a lot of things that Argentina still needs in infrastructure in technology to develop all those sectors.
Yeah, let me try to split the animal in a couple of things. We have still some work to do in terms of learn to compete.
That's not easy.
No, that's not easy. We're still running on the previous inertia of inflation doing our business, and now we are the ones that have to make our business competing not only with the local market but also with the international market. So that's something we still need to learn and to try to take a stronger position there. We still some regulations to be developed in order to lower some internal costs that are still impacting the margin of each sector. So still something to do there, and we still have to think in efficiency. we are more efficient doing what we do. We'll always be a big country, and a big country need strong logistics. And logistics still are a problem in some point where taking your product to where it can be sold is still far away, and you don't have enough alternative for bringing the goods and to the port or to an airport or what you can export it. And we still have some lack of talent in terms of engineering talent.
Whoa. Oh, sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. We have a lack. You're saying we do not have enough engineers, or we do not have as good as they should be.
No, they're pretty good.
Okay, so we need more.
We need more.
We need more engineers. Okay. And what kind of engineers? I mean, is it petroleum? Is it systems engineers? Because that's a nerve.
Mainly in technology. Okay. Mainly system and technology engineers. Mainly, I think our oil and gas industry is turning back, so we still need some people.
Okay.
But you also need people to do the, I don't want to say lower work because I don't think it's lower, but you still have some blue collar that still need to be developed.
Yeah. Until the bots take over every blue collar job on the world.
Yeah. So we still have a work to do there. Mm-hmm. And that takes time. And unfortunately, the markets doesn't have time, doesn't want to wait.
But I have a question. I mean, I teach at a university.
Yeah.
I give strategy. My job is to teach strategy, but mostly to engineers in master's degree. And it takes at least 5 years to craft an engineer.
Yeah.
Right?
With zero expertise.
Zero expertise, right? Entry level. Out of the freshman and then into college. 5 years of college. So we don't have 5 years. The world doesn't have 5 years. So one could think that there is a huge opportunity for companies that already have that expertise, be it to operate oil fields, mining, etc. You could be Chevron, Total, British Petroleum, Saudi Aramco, correct me if I'm wrong, Sinopec, Petrobras, whichever.
Speaking in technology, you have Tata, you have Oracle, or whatever you want.
Exactly. That's the point.
Of course, it's
So if you were, let me rephrase this exactly. If you were in Chevron or you were in Tata Consulting Services, shouldn't you be at least considering a trip to Argentina in order to see what transfer of knowledge you could bring as an investment? It could pay off. Let's be honest. I mean, it's our country, so it's difficult, but let's be honest.
No, yes, of course, can be an investment opportunity.
Okay.
But you still need the time to develop the people here and develop the talent here, because you won't have a bunch of whatever people coming to Argentina to take 5 or 6 years to develop people. You need to co-develop them and try to guide them and try to let them learn the fast they can.
But what happens if you bring the people? I mean, if you're let's assume for a moment an Indian software company, development companies, and you have, 1,000 engineers, fresh out of college, with some experience, couldn't you bring them to Argentina and create a development hub?
Yes.
Wouldn't that make sense?
Yes, you can, but you have to take into consideration a lot of things, primarily cultural things.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
India, for instance, in terms of religion, in terms of culture, in terms of food, in water. I work with Indian guys.
You do? Okay.
Not only here, but also in Ecuador. And it was very, very difficult to try to get them here and try to work with us.
Okay.
They prefer to work from India, also in night shifts, instead of coming and develop things locally.
Adapting to Latin American
And that's
culture.
not something easy to do.
Okay.
And it will take time. But it's the way. It's the way you have to develop people.
Let's assume we don't bring the oil engineers or the software engineers. What would these companies in these key sectors for the world? Because we are also speaking about Argentina has assets in three key sectors of the world, right? I mean, agriculture and food. Second, oil, energy, etc. And
Mining.
then software, right? Technology, software, you name it. So those are strategic sectors for the world. It's not that we're speaking about luxury items for the very rich, which are nice and interesting, but it's not strategy. What should companies be thinking about? Let's assume we're not bringing the 1,000 Indian engineers. What should these companies be thinking, and how can we as a country help them think? Like, if someone from Tata Consulting Services or whatever would be hearing us and watching this, what our advice would be? Like, what do we need to do as a country and as sectors, as in industries, to bring this talent, bring these investments, and get a grip on what's going on in the world?
Yeah, I think from the point of view of the government or what their actions they are doing, they are trying to deregulate a lot of different issues and try to reduce taxes. Not many yet, but there's a lot of still to reduce. They implemented RIGI. It's a tax incentive regime for investment over 200 millions. But that's not enough. We still need partnerships with private companies and foreign investors to develop those areas, because the government and also this government that is open to the market, they are not going to do things themselves, because that's not in their mindset. So they will try to help with making the macro economics or the conditions to do the investments, but not to do the investment by themselves.
Okay.
So on that context, we still need better partnerships and investments from foreign investors on local companies, on areas. Not when we are talking about mining on oil and gas, on Vaca Muerta and different developments. It's not just the huge developments on the operators on the different companies that extract the minerals. There are a lot of things, as we mentioned, that we have a lack of different small providers for different services and goods, and I think there's a lot of potential, because it's not just for huge players in the market that could enter the country, but also for other small entities that, as you mentioned, could have the know-how, could have some capital to invest. One of our most significant challenges is SMEs cannot access to credit. It's impossible for companies to access to at least a reasonable credit on reasonable rates and repay time to do the investment. So and foreign investors can cover all those things and find the different opportunities and those small opportunities could make a huge development. And for example, in case of also in Vaca Muerta with the oil and gas development, currently those investments and development and exports are starting improving the whole area in services, in more development of the area. A lot of the whole area is growing, and the
well spills.
Yeah, of course, it's not just for the company that is extracting and fracking the oil. It's making little by little different developments, and there will be huge opportunities for small companies too.
Let me say from another point of view.
Okay.
What would a foreign company find here? That I think it's
great food.
For instance,
wonderful climate. This day we're recording this is pretty hot,
very
but
pretty cultural.
It's pretty hot, but it's in the 30 something, 35, 36. Pretty hot, but it's manageable.
No, but in terms of businesses, I think they will find
Go ahead.
a strong potential and educated professional
That's where I was going. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you again. Sorry. Do we have, because we Argentinos have this idea that we do have great universities. I believe we do. I teach in some of them. We do, the three of us. We have great potential. We've had 5 Nobel Prizes, etc. But are we at a good level vis-a-vis the rest of the world? Let's be honest.
From my point of view, yes.
Yeah, okay. That's important. I mean, to be candid about this.
Why? University is not all. It's not everything.
Okay.
You have not only knowledge and deep knowledge and educated population and professionals, you have people trained in different hard economic ways.
Environment, exactly.
So you will have people very committed.
Okay.
You will have people very ambitious and with willingness to grow. You will find deep knowledge in certain areas, agriculture, mining. You will find deep knowledge, spatial or satellite.
See, space. We do have an astronaut. An astronaut going
not
to
only
moon right
you have
now.
the case of Zimbabwe that is, in terms of nuclear reactors, one of the biggest in the world.
Yes.
And state-owned. So you will find pretty good knowledge and deep knowledge in certain areas. You will find in the finance area people very used to deal with different
With uncertainty.
yes dealing with uncertainties.
Okay.
I
yes.
think we have an MBA of dealing with uncertainties.
Yes, a doctorate.
So, and that's not easy or something not easy to find in more stable economies. We are not afraid of challenges. We are not afraid of changes or dramatical changes one day from another. We're mainly used to that. That's where you find the real value of our professionals.
Value of the profession. Okay, so let's rephrase for a moment. Let's recapitulate. 3 strategic areas: energy, technology, and agricultural. Then Mati said about
How about
5
in your area?
Huh?
In your area,
My
We
area,
have
what would my area be? Entertainment and rock and roll concerts.
Great,
Yes.
because
We are
marketing is something
expecting-
fluffy to define.
Yes,
but
it's complicated. but
in your domain, let's say,
the
how are
main
we?
thing is Argentina is, as you were saying, we are highly creative. I believe too creative. That's why we
Okay.
created such a mess with such a blessed country as we do have, because we have been blessed with everything the good Lord could give us, or nature, or the universe, or whatever, and we made a mess. And that is, I believe, out of 2 things that are constantly in collision in the Argentinian psyche.
Okay.
Very, very high creativity levels. We are highly creative, but then still a little immature. And I would say still immature, not a little. I don't want to whitewash it or
Immature in
wash
which
it.
terms?
Immature in terms that when we fuck up, it's somebody else's problems.
Okay.
It's somebody else. I don't know.
Okay.
The Spaniard conquistadores 500 years ago, or the European colonialists. That's 200 years ago, guys. Or, I don't know. The Washington Consensus. That's not. It's our fault, and we cannot.
Okay. You said that we still
It's
don't
very
take ownership
difficult.
of our own
Yeah,
mistakes.
and then when we win the World Cup, as we did, and we will this year also, we are the number 1, the masters of the world. We are the best of the world, but we. So that's immaturity to me as a country, and it's always somebody else's fault. If the country is too liberal, then the liberals are destroying the country, and the country is not growing because of liberal policies. If the country has high inflation because of the populists, and this is a nation, and it is a democracy, and in a democracy, you have to take ownership, despite of the fact if you voted or not for the government. That's one. And then high creativity. You were talking about, both of you were talking about it. We have high levels of creativity because of the environment and because of ourselves and the cross-cultural acumen we have.
Okay.
Argentinos are a mix of Italians, Spaniards, but also Jewish, Polish, Austrians, British, Germans. Me and my family, we have 2 quarters Italians, 1 quarter Brit, 1 quarter Catholic Irish. You said, where in the... That's a comedy show. Guys, that's a reality show. My family is a reality show. My name is Cavalli Kennedy. That's a collision of worlds. And I'm sure yours is too, and yours is too, and our guest star producer here is also the same. And My family is Christian.
Do you have anything to do with Livon Kennedy? Or?
No, I would love to. No, I don't.
You don't love to.
Once I
You
tried,
would not love to.
And once I tried to enter the Kennedy family estate in New England, in the United States, and it didn't go that well.
Okay.
But I did once enter the Roberto Cavalli store in Madison Avenue for a vernissage and I said he was my uncle, and they believed me because I showed my government ID.
Yes.
That was wonderful. But that's it. That is what we are. And think about me. That
You
was
were
highly
porting
creative.
surname.
How did I enter into a vernissage with the African wonderful Thailandese models, top models, and Mr. Roberto Cavalli, etc.? Out of my creativity. Was it immature what I did? Pretending I was the nephew of a man I didn't know just because of my government issued ID. I had the same surname. Yes, it was absolutely mature. It was a disaster. But that is who we are.
Okay.
I didn't steal anything. So I guess I'm coming back to the point. I think that is the problem. And that is also the issue. And what we should be grappling with is the opportunity the world is giving us, and the world begin to see the opportunity it has in Argentina. Because when you plant a seed in Argentina, eventually it will grow and flourish.
Yeah.
Am I right?
No.
Yeah, and taking your question about the marketing and creative services, Argentina, it's among the 10th most awarded and creative nations on advertising marketing services, and it's been in all most world rankings among the 10th in the for many years. So it's a very well positioning around the world on that sector too.
Sorry, but the agencies like GOT is the world's leading agency in creativity right now. It was founded in Buenos Aires by two Argentino and Brazilian.
And there are maybe, I'm not going to say all, but a lot of advertising agencies has creative directors around the world that are from Argentinians. Also, it's not just us talking about the different investments and opportunities in Argentina, but also last week we have the business forum in Davos, and Argentina was one of the countries that, not only because it was President was there, but also because it was mentioned that there are a lot of opportunities there and different investments and companies that are doing investments in the sector. Amazon investment in data centers, OpenAI are going to make some investment. Argentina has different alternatives in different sectors. We are receiving some messages. So let me. I let you interrupt me.
In the subject, we have a very special message from a friend of the show, our friend Eugenio Sucal. So we're going to go with that video. Euge lives in London. He works in artificial intelligence technology. So we're going to that video, and then we're back to you, Mati.
Hi, I'm Eugenio Sucal, Argentinian living in London for the past 5 years, director of AI Workify, a holding company with several artificial intelligence businesses across different sectors. From London, I see a strong and growing interest in Argentina from global investors, and the main opportunities are in mining, oil and gas, and agriculture. This is closely linked to the potential trade agreements with the European Union and to tariff reduction and free trade dynamics with the United States. Investors are trying to understand which exports are realistically having the potential to scale several times over Argentina. And it does not yet as a country have the infrastructure to scale fast. And the gap creates a major opportunity for investors. Large investments will also create demand for local suppliers, let's say small startups or mid suppliers, and a lot of opportunities in services and in financing all these projects as well. Argentina's talent remains highly competitive, especially in technical roles, with salaries still far below the US levels. Many companies tried to scale in India, but failed due to time zone and cultural friction. And this is an opportunity because Argentina offers a much better cultural fit with the US and a friendlier time zone. So, this is why JP Morgan is growing and growing its shared service center in Argentina. I'm happy to continue the conversation. You can find me on LinkedIn, and hope this perspective adds some clarity, and thank you for having me.
And back to Mati.
Thanks. Great to have Eugenio in our video podcast. He's a great guy. Very well connected also.
Yeah, absolutely. You met him. You had breakfast with him.
I had breakfast with him at his
place.
house. Yes.
Okay.
Great guy. And also, we have the Mercosur and the European Union agreement, which is still in some discussions and depending on some approvals, but it's going to happen. And which kind of opportunities could this bring to the country, to the region, to foreign investors? What's your thoughts about that?
Of course, trying to widen the opportunities of the markets to interact are always an opportunity. I think that agreement is still in their diapers. Still trying to see where it can run. It took a lot of time to be agreed. It was primarily agreed close to two governments ahead. Because I remember Chancellor Fori congratulating President Macri on that agreement, and it still is not yet signed. So it will be an opportunity, I think so, but I still have to run. And
it's taking a lot of time. Sorry.
Yes,
it's taking a lot of time.
That's my opinion. That's what I think.
It's as though it's
of course, but
it's
it's an agreement between.
I understand. 4 nations and then 20-something nations in Europe. But it's taking a lot of time, guys.
Yes,
the idea for blocks was exactly that.
Yeah, but we are getting closer to the agreement. That's but currently I think that it's more in the fine tuning, trying to avoid those conflicts of interest between different sectors that can to be able to trade without conflicts. But
let me be a little suspicious on that. Let me throw a little 007 conspiracy theories. Have we all seen one battle after another?
Not yet.
Oh
no, not yet.
Good.
I have it on my list.
Good God.
Sometimes we have to work.
You don't have time for 2 hours watching Leonardo DiCaprio. So if something happens and I say Gloria a Dios, you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
No, it's not the church. It's not the Catholic Church or whatever. No, it's not Baruch Hashem or Inshallah or whatever invocation. No. Guys, you need to see one battle after the other.
Okay. I know how to.
But okay, there is this character.
I will be on holidays next week.
Okay, just give yourself the gift of 2 hours with Leo DiCaprio. He has this total conspiracies in his mind and etc. This character he composes. But let me play a little bit to Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
And why is it that I think that somewhere in the State Department in Washington or somewhere in Shanghai or whatever, some people are obfuscating this deal. And
could be.
It's so suspicious that it's not been worked out as fast as it could that I'm beginning to think that, do we really want to sign a treaty with the European Union? And does the European Union really want to sign a treaty with Mercosur? Or are we just feasting because it's good for Europe to counterbalance the United States at this moment? And for us, especially us, Argentina, especially in Brazil, but we are not sure and we're not sure. What am I thinking? This is what we call a minuet.
No,
like we dance, but we don't dance.
But
We hug,
let's
but we
speak
don't hug.
a little bit about Mercosur. And as far as I know, maybe
Yeah.
Mati, you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's not a free zone.
No. It's an agreement. It's an agreement zone.
So until you don't have a free zone, a real free zone where you can trade among 4 countries, no more than that,
Yeah.
freely, that could be something that may block any movement ahead. For instance, if you want to have some services from Argentina to Brazil, you will have to pay a foreign tax for those
Yes.
services that are provided. Same happens backwards from Brazil to Argentina. If you want to sell something to Uruguay or to Paraguay, you have to pay some taxes, some cross-border taxes. So until that's not a free
happens,
zone.
but that happens also inside the
In
European Union and
the OCDE also?
Yeah,
In the
you have
Eurozone, it
you
also
have,
happens.
You have tax agreement to avoid double taxation. We have one with Brazil, not with Paraguay, and we have an agreement with Uruguay, which is not just for services. But that things happen. But as you say, it's not maybe free trade. It's not the same as the European Union. We do not share the same currency. I think also this is an opportunity for Mercosur not to extinguish, because if not, it will be very hard to keep Mercosur running. Yeah. But it's a huge opportunity. If I think I'm more optimistic about this than Patricio, but I think this is going to finally be signed, and it's open. This open a huge market for companies in the region, and also a huge market for Europeans to trade here, and a significantly huger market for other companies that will be able to establish here. And from here to trade not only with the consumers in Mercosur, but also with consumers in Europe. So I think it could be a good opportunity.
Okay. So let me bring us back a little bit on track. If I were a foreign investor sitting in my office at Riyadh or whatever, Shanghai or any other capital, with investment possibilities, but I'm worried about what could happen to NATO. I'm worried what can happen in Ukraine. I'm worried, et cetera, And you guys are speaking, and we were also speaking out technicalities about the UA, European Union and Mercosur, et cetera, agreement, et cetera. And it's beginning to get a little confusing to me.
Yeah.
I don't have much time. I have money to invest. I don't know Latin America that well. I don't care. 4 countries, 2 countries. Should I be looking at Argentina as an investment opportunity? Why? And if so, why? What are the strengths and the weaknesses, the threats and the opportunities? But let's try to be concrete, as if we were writing an email.
Precise. Mati?
First of all, the answer is yes. You describe the different issues that we have. The world is a mess. Yeah. And we have zero risk nowhere.
Okay.
So the first advice will be diversify. And in that diversification, Argentina currently has many areas where it's growing of strategic national resources.
Okay.
So it's not like throwing your money in the air. It's of course there is risk, but everywhere there could be risk and a lot of things to take a look at before. It's not just investment. You need to be careful to take some to analyze what you are going to do, the kind of company, the sector, where are you going to make your investment. But it's currently the environment is more pro market, so that's something that is important. And also, as I mentioned, It's not about investing in anything. It's there are different assets that are very strategic. Also,
But let me go back as if I were this foreign investor, and let me cut you right there and ask you both, guys, should I be putting my money and spend more importantly, my time and my attention in Argentina?
Okay.
Short form.
You will find specific commodities,
Commodities, good.
agriculture, mining, oil and gas.
Okay.
You will find talent.
Talent. Okay.
You will find
talent.
innovation.
Okay.
You will find flexibility for rough times.
Okay. What kind of flexibility?
Financial flexibility,
Okay.
dealing with uncertainty and dealing with sudden changes.
Yeah.
You will still have to work in long-term thinking. We are not used to long-term thinking.
Okay.
We have to still work in
How long are we talking about?
competitiveness.
If I'm a foreign investor, long term for me is like 50 years. In
20 years at
Argentina,
least.
at the very least, 20 years. Okay,
Yes.
good. And Matías, would I be able? Sorry, but Matías, would I be able to get my money out of the country if I so want? Like I can put it in, I can take it out. Like in any normal Occident, Western.
with the new rules, if you have profits, you'll be able to get your money
Take
back
them
to take
home.
your dividends.
Take my dividends home because that didn't happen before.
Yes, there were a lot of restrictions.
Okay.
Those restrictions were released. It's if you have profits, you will be able to take your dividends home.
Okay, great.
There will be no problem, at least with the new rules that now are in
place. Okay,
place, yeah.
guys, we do have. This is our Apple sponsored moment. Sponsored by Apple iPad. No. Yes, I wish it were. But we have a second message. Our friend of the show, Fernando Mater, who is perhaps the most knowledgeable and savvy person in the world of gas and mining in Argentina right now, and he's a very good friend. He's sent us this video we're going to show you right now, speaking honestly and candidly also in terms of opportunities for investment.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. First of all, I want to wish you an excellent 2026 and may all your wishes and projects come through. My name is Fernando Mater. I work as a director of TNS Latam. It's a consulting company. And I will give you my outlook for the energy sector for this year in 2 or 3 minutes. First of all, let's speak about the size of our market here. For this year, we have a market size of $3.52 billion. And the estimated size in 2031 is about $4.27 billion. This is a great increase, and this is a great amount of money for a small country like Argentina. Growth drivers. The great momentum from shale gas and shale oil, especially in Vaca Muerta. The position of the government focus on increasing natural gas production, expanding investment and opportunities. And of course, and not less important, adoption of digital technologies, AI and IoT by operators to improve efficiency and safety. If we speak about segmentation, onshore will dominate the industry. Vaca Muerta is clear and onshore resources. The increased maturity of conventional basins, it means it's a decline in conventional production and growth driven primarily by unconventional extraction. It's logical. The most important thing in oil is the total production for 2026 is 1 million barrels per day. This is our outlook at the end of this year. And the shale oil forecast for 2026 is about 600,000 barrels per day. We can see a great increase of production, especially in Vaca Muerta. Speaking about natural gas, the government is focusing in its energy policy and increasing natural gas supply. But that implies, first of all, more drilling and gas infrastructure development. 2, expansion of midstream processing plants, pipeline, such as the pipeline Nestor Kirchner, now that we call Perito Moreno. 3, investments is the more important that we need. Regularity framework and a special program called RYGI. It's a large investment incentive regime that we have here in Argentina to attract investment. What does the RYGI do? Acts an accelerator for investment in upstream and energy, and reduce uncertainty and improves fiscal conditions for those companies who have access to this region. And the expected impact is, first of all, attraction of international investors. 2, facilitation of capital-intensive projects like shale oil and shale gas, and a special focus on export and oriented sectors, especially export, because Argentina need a lot of dollars in order to pay their debts. Key companies for 2026. First of all, of course, YPF. YPF has a high exposure to shale oil and shale gas. We expect an increase of 30% more than in 2025. And the capex of this company in 2026 is about $5.6 billion, most allocated every investment in Vaca Muerta. And YPF will continue an divestment plan between 1,000 and 1,500 million of this investment. Another company that we have to see very closely is Vista Energy. After acquiring Petronas assets, its shale profit strengthened further. The production forecast for 2026 is about 120 barrels per day. And this is very important. Another company very important to see is Pampa Energía, that maintains a stable profile with opportunities for moderate growth. Very important. Infrastructure is the main bottleneck here. Infrastructure is the critical challenge. Without expanding oil pipelines and export of facilities, greater productions cannot turn into an export surplus. The export potential could be enormous, speaking about 30 million by 2030, if investments are executed. What we need? Additional oil pipelines to Chile and port terminals, increased processing capacity, and especially reconfiguration of the domestic and transportation system. For 2026, oil export could be reached a profit of $9 billion, assuming a Brent price of between $60 and $63. What is the sensitive of that? Lower Brent prices pressure revenues, but higher production compensates. So, international markets with slight oversupply according to Vista and sector analysis that we have read. What are the structural risks and challenges? First of all, regularity depends. YPF is highly sensitive to policies change, the maturity of conventional fields, the progressive decline in conventional production. That's why YPF are leaving behind. The macroeconomic risk, fiscal policy, exchange rate condition, and operating costs. Insufficient infrastructure. This is a limiting factor to scale the business. Conclusion. Argentina will consolidate a new expanding energy cycle. The country definitely leaves behind the logic of scarcity and position itself as an exporter. Share of space traditional productions will be the main factor for the companies. RYGI and regularity, stability become key to sustaining investment. Leading companies will increase their production and modernize its operations, and infrastructure becomes the limiting condition for this growth. Thank you very much and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
And now going back, what would be the outtakes of this? Let me take you through my 3 outtakes. Okay, Argentina is changing, turning from populista to liberal. President Milei is being heralded as the leading thinker of political liberalization in the world. I mean, even the president of the United States has said that. That is a lot. The leader of the free world saying from the Davos Forum, saying President Milei. And I'm not talking about politics in any way, saying that. I mean, that's a lot. POTUS saying that, that's a lot. Yeah. Scott Bessent also said that. And he promised a lot of money too. Yeah. We're waiting. that's my first outtake. So the political change. Second, the change of rules. And third, something that you, Eduardo, talked about, that is the potential. Like this huge amount of unexplored and unexploited potential. That would be my outtakes. What would be yours?
I think that there are a lot of opportunities in key sectors. I think that, as you mentioned, if you are going to invest in those sectors, the chances to get profits, it's significant. And of course, you in those kind of sectors, in mining, in oil and gas, you cannot think to have profits tomorrow, because it's you think in long term. But those are key sectors. Agriculture, there are different, perhaps smaller opportunities in vineyards for Brazilian companies or UK companies that want to invest in our vineyards and products. I think that it's not just huge investment. There could be also small investments that can be very profitable in different areas if you choose the key sectors properly.
Okay. And Edu?
Similar to Mati, I think that there will not be huge investments, because although we think we are the biggest in the world in terms of relative terms, for example, we are not so big. Our companies are not that big, so it shouldn't be a big investment. Second, the diversification should be one of the things you may consider, not only in commodity but also in technology or in talent also. And the willingness to growth, the willingness to exploit, to explode. Sorry,
to be better.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
And two more takeaways from my side.
Yep.
It's more a save the date.
Save the date. Okay. You're going on a date. I was under the impression you were married.
No,
but okay.
The Argentinian government is organizing Argentina Week, an
Argentina
economic
Week.
forum in New York.
New York City when?
In March, from the 9th to March 11, 12.
Are you going? Are you going?
I don't know. I haven't received the invitation yet, but we never know.
But if you buy the ticket, you can also
I can invite myself.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you can also.
It will be a very good initiative for the government to show the different alternatives and also to have some businessmen speaking there and try to do networking with the American environment. And also we are going to do a mining forum in Buenos Aires on March 12th.
My birthday.
Your birthday.
Yeah, we were organizing that because of that.
Yeah, because of that. Yes, of course. It's going to be cake.
Going to give
you need
some
to
lithium.
come. It's going to be cake. And,
a present of a bunch of lithium for
Yes, of course.
So
we have some surprises for you.
Save the date for that day. And
March 12 in Buenos Aires. It's Edu's birthday. The climate in Buenos Aires is great because it's beginning to be we are in the beginning in fall, beginning of fall, so it's beautiful. You guys need to come. That's it. So there's plenty of opportunity, including having chocolate cake, which we call chocotorta. That's the main reason to come to Buenos Aires, especially to sing happy birthday to Edu. Wait, there's going to be someone who emerges from the cake. Happy birthday to you. Okay, guys, let's go to our last section before our executive producer kicks us off. We're kicking off the butt.
Yeah.
Which is rapid fire. Who's going to be the firing squad today? You, Mati?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can ask a question.
Okay.
And we'll try to answer.
I will ask Eduardo first.
Okay.
Which do you think would be the start of the decade? The mining sector or the oil and gas? Or both? The combination of both?
No, they can be both. Just choose one of them.
It's too hard. Let's say just for data, the oil and gas. But because you have more data of the reserve, of the oil reserve we have.
I think the forecast for the first decade, maybe it's stronger because it's growing. Perhaps in the future,
Yes.
mining will
Yes,
will
especially
surpass.
the strange lands that we don't have enough data yet.
Do you think that foreign investors thinks more on certainty of rules or to pay low prices for the investments?
I don't know exactly what's on their minds, but if I had to advise them today, I would say go for the low. How did you put it? The second
Yeah,
option. The
cheap
low-
prices
Cheap prices.
or-
yeah,
or-
go
or
for
certainly
cheap prices.
in rules.
Just go for cheap prices. The conditions are being set for long-term stable rules in Argentina, but to be honest, they're still not there. Not at least at the level required by the Western world and etc. So we are getting there, still not there. Cheap prices, that's a strategy. It served China well, it served India well. That's many years ago. It can serve Argentina and it can serve a foreign investor.
Okay.
It's not the best strategy, it's not the greatest strategy, but it's a strategy. Go for the low prices and wait for the conditions to get better.
If you enter the country, you prefer firstly to choose a trustable partner, local trustable partner, or full control of the operation.
Far. Full control of the operation.
You don't trust
Okay.
local guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly. That's our job today, guys. Is very tough because we have to be honest, and it's very tough to speak against your
my
own country
money.
at some
No,
point.
no, it's your money.
I prefer to control where
But
it is.
let's be honest.
I'm too
I mean,
conservative.
It's very difficult to speak against your own country, but
No.
to be honest with you, watching us, the millions of people watching us on iTunes and Apple podcasts, that's. Well, okay, I
Yeah.
have a question for you guys, one and one.
Okay.
That what would be, Edu, for you, if you were a university and you would
Yes.
set up a foothold in Buenos Aires, you would invest in Buenos Aires, what kind of engineering you would begin with? Systems engineering, infrastructure engineering, I would mean bridges, etc.,
Yeah.
highways, etc., or energy, petroleum, mining, etc. Which one of the three? Let's assume you can only have
Technology,
one.
system engineering.
Technology, okay.
Because
why?
I think it will. Where you will have the more demand for, not
Okay.
only for Argentina, all over the world.
Okay, and Mati, for you is, should I be as an investor thinking in short-term returns, higher short-term returns, or long-term, 20, 30 years, 50 years with lower margin? Or maybe both, sorry, maybe one against the other. Short-term, long-term?
I think you should think in long term, but perhaps the margin is lower at the beginning, but if it's a key sector and because of that the country is growing, your margin will increase. But you need to think in long term, not just
Okay.
If you want cash flows now, that's not going to happen immediately, and that's not the wise investment. It could be maybe an opportunity, but
Okay.
if you want to develop your company, your business here, think in long term and think on profits on long term thinking because you are going to receive them.
Now I have a question for both of you.
Okay,
It will be the same question for both.
okay, go ahead. Mati, you go first, so I can think. No, it's okay, I can go first. No, okay,
no problem.
I can take it, I can take it.
Okay.
I don't want.
Which is the best business movie you have ever seen?
Succession. It's not a movie, it's a TV show. Succession.
Okay.
And then a movie, Margin Call.
Okay.
Billions.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
amazing,
It's a series.
amazing,
Okay.
Amazing.
I am.
What about you?
I will be so.
What about you?
2-1. I will mention two. One is called Moneyball.
Okay, yeah, amazing. Wonderful Moneyball.
The other one is a French one called Human Resources.
Yes, I love it. Okay. I
I'm more
love it.
spiritual. You are too
Yes,
material.
yes, yeah, we are too
Too
much-
materialist.
Yeah,
You
those
are too
hippies,
materialist.
those French socialist guys.
This is a podcast about finance, business, and-
As Steve Jobs was said to the wife of
Why do you
President
have
Mitterrand,
a hippie here?
the wife of President Mitterrand was touring the Apple facilities, and she was asking about the workers there and their working conditions. Steve Jobs at one point got fed up and said, if she loves them so much, why doesn't she adopt them? And the translator said, no, he said nothing, and they went away. Okay, guys, who do you think is going to win the Oscar? Is going to be Timothée Chalamet for his work in Marty Supreme, or is it gonna be Jackson on Why Because of Sinners?
I have to see the both movies.
Oh,
me neither.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
You gonna answer
Michael B. Jordan. I'm sorry, I said Jackson. It's Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B.
Sorry.
Jordan.
Sorry, Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan has to do a lot of
Who is
work.
more handsome, Michael B. Jordan or Brad Pitt?
No.
Let me
That,
ask you
we
that
were
honest
canceling
question.
that question.
No, guys,
You don't
it's
speak
important.
about anyone else's body. Come on.
No, it's not. No, I'm not talking about anybody's body. I didn't mention the word body. I'm saying, who is more handsome? If there was a peak of handsomeness, I don't know who is more handsome, like Brad Pitt or Michael B. Jordan. I don't know how to decide.
Michael B. Jordan has to
Nacho,
do a
what do
lot
you
of.
think?
Michael B. Jordan has to do a lot of work to come back
become-
from Rocky Balboa performance.
And to get to Brad Pitt level.
He has to
Okay,
work.
guys, and the
his
last
acting
question
skills.
is, who wins the 2026 FIFA Football World Cup? Let's assume for a moment Argentina, because that's in our hearts. But then let's put aside Argentina. Let's place our bets in a team that is not Argentina.
Spain.
Spain? Okay, why? Do you think it's just a hunch?
I think because I think that besides Argentina is the one that
Okay, best position.
Yes, play,
And you?
I think it would be between Spain or France.
Okay. I was thinking Germany making a comeback again. But it's possible that Spain also has a great team. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. This has been our episode 17 Argentina Forecast. We are produced by the Martin Scorsese of videocasts, our great producer and friend Ignacio Magic Box in Spanish, Caja Mágica Studio here in Buenos Aires. Feel free to come. The entourage our producer has set for this videocast is amazing, and we'll getting better and better and better. We are not sponsored by Apple, so please don't send us the cease and desist letter. Don't even mention it. And if you want to know more about Argentina, please contact your local Argentinian embassy or consulate. I'm sure they will answer. And if not, you can write to us at hello@financerockstars.net. We are
Eduardo Martínez.
a.k.a. Edu,
Matías Tejero.
a.k.a. Mati, and Patricio Cavalli, a.k.a. Pato.
Or
Thank you
Duck.
very much. Or Duck, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.